As you can see, I have cut my hair even more. That's the length that I wanted. I really like it. In the past, I loved long hair, but when my hair started getting thinner, I love short haircuts much more. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a subject that is very important to understand, and some people really don't. So recently I posted an article about mindfulness and also about predestiny, that everything, the story is already written and all the people do is follow, but we are identified, the consciousness that is one is identified with various bodies, and it's under as though hypnotism, in a hypnotic state. So it really believes it's the doer, although that's definitely not the case. So basically the story is already written, the body will do what it's supposed to do, and this was told, this is not made up by me, but this is told by enlightened people such as Nisargadatta Maharaj or Ramana Maharishi. They always talked about this, and these are the two people that were totally liberated, in my opinion. So when I talk about such issues, sometimes I get comments that you promote slavery, that this is a slavery. I do have freedom. It's not true that we don't have freedom and everything is already written, the story is set. But this comes from people who are not awakened. They really believe them to be the body. So of course it's very scary for the bodies to believe, to understand that the story is written and they can't change it. But we are not these bodies, so our freedom is disidentification from the body, and then it doesn't matter what happens to the body. Whatever happens to the body, you understand that you're not the body, so you just watch what's happening, and it's possible to achieve such level of detachment that you may not even feel the pain if the body hurts, because you're just the watcher. And many people think that if you detach from the body will malfunction, it will not be able to be productive, but that's not true, because the body is doing what it's supposed to do. We just are identified with the body, so we think that, oh, we are going somewhere, we are working there, we have this occupation, but it's not true. We are just identified with the story and the character within that story that is already written. So for people, if people are scared when they hear that everything is predestined, that means they don't have that awareness, they are attached to the body, and the ego is scared. It's not even them that is scared, but because the identification is so strong, they do believe that this is them that get scared when they hear about such matters. For me, as I told many times before, knowing that the story is already written is very freeing, because you can just relax and enjoy the story, watch the movie however it will be, whether it's good movie or bad movie. And according to A Course in Miracles, there could not be bad stories. If you I don't think that this was told by Nisargadatta Maharaj or Ramana Maharishi, but according to A Course in Miracles, if you fully trust God, you can only experience good things. Because God wishes only good for you. So if you don't resist and relax into this story, you will have the fun of your life. And if you resist, then that's when misery is created. So this is a little bit different. I don't know if either Ramana Maharishi or Nisargadatta Maharaj talked about this, but that's what's written in A Course in Miracles, that everything is already, the story is written, you just have to relax into it, and if you don't resist, it will go very smoothly and you will experience just happiness. And I also would like to share with you one YouTube channel that I found. It's not a popular channel, but I love the person who narrates the stories. He reads, for example, the texts of Ramana Maharishi, and in a meditative way, and he has online satsangs, so I listen to those kinds of videos, and he just slowly reads each sentence of Ramana Maharishi and then reflects on it, and I find it very peaceful, very relaxing, and I like listening to those videos when I'm preparing for the day. And finally, I would like to share some of the texts that I found very inspiring and I resonated with from the book The Teachings of Ramana Maharishi, which I'm reading now, and I love it so much. Each page has abundance of information, not so much information, but just divine words that make you just so at peace. So here is the sentence that really resonated with me from Ramana Maharishi's book, Teachings of Ramana Maharishi. Even one's environment does not happen by accident. The guru creates the conditions necessary for one's quest. So some Indian followers thought that a human guru is necessary for enlightenment, yet Nisargadatta Maharaj had totally different understanding of guru, and he didn't have any guru and he achieved enlightenment, but the guru is within. And if there is some kind of guru, enlightened person outside, it's nothing more than you, because consciousness is one, and if there is no ego left, only consciousness remains, then that person is a reflection of who you really are. But the same applies to anything in this world. The life itself can be your guru. For example, for me, life, every single day, everything is a lesson. Yet for people who are just little awake, they are searching for some human guru. But you don't need that. And here Ramana Maharishi says that even you are put in a certain environment for a reason. It's not that you randomly find yourself in some environment, but it is there for you to awaken, to help for you to awaken. So again, this is very empowering for people who find themselves in a place they hate, but they try to escape from it. And what usually happens to such people is that when they escape, they find themselves in a place which they again don't like, so they keep escaping instead of learning the lesson. So everywhere you find yourself in, it's not by accident, and just relax into that place, in that environment, and see what it can teach you. Then I will also quote again from the same book of Ramana Maharishi. Question: what is the grace of the Guru? Answer: the Guru is the self. At some time, a man grows dissatisfied with his life and, not content with what he has, seeks the satisfaction of his desires through prayer to God. His mind is gradually purified until he longs to know God more to obtain his grace than to satisfy worldly desires. So people who turn to God to obtain material things, actually, just because they are turning to the source starts purifying it, purifying the person, and gradually the person awakens, and then he or she understands that things will not satisfy them, and then they turn to the source of where everything came from, where they came from, and that is the ultimate satisfaction. Should I try to help the suffering world? Answer: the power that created you created the world as well. If God created the world, it is His business to look after it, not yours. So many people would come to Ramana Maharishi asking how they can help the world, and he would say, first help yourself and then see whether the world needs your help. And that is so similar to what Nisargadatta Maharaj would say. Don't try to help the world, firstly help yourself and then see whether the world needs your help. Or both of them would say, if you try to help yourself, you will understand that this is a dream, and then you will wake up from it. Then will you go back to your dream to save the characters of your dream? No, because it's fictional. It's not true. This world is not real. So instead of focusing on saving the world, save yourself from the world. And that's why some people are not happy that I'm very passive about what's happening in the world today, but I don't care, because my task is to extricate myself from Maya, from this illusion. I don't want to get lost in it through being angry at what's happening, through directing negative emotions to it, through paying attention to it, because that's illusion. I don't want to pay attention to illusion. I want to get out of here. So I don't pay attention to anything that's happening in this world. I don't care. I'm like an alien. I feel like an alien here. And the happiness that I find is only within, when I sit in peace, when I'm in touch with my breathing, when I don't think for prolonged periods of time, then this inner love comes through. So that's what I'm focusing on. I don't care about this world because it's a dream, it's an illusion. But we are so enmeshed, embedded in it, that it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to extricate ourselves from it because of the things in motion, because of karma. So things always come at us that we need to react to, and it's so easy to put your emotional energy into it, yet you shouldn't if you want to neutralize the karma and escape this world. So this is my task. I'm not focused on what's happening in the world. I'm focusing on not creating further karma and on being still and being focused within. But we see pain in the world. A man is hungry. It is a physical reality. It is very real to him. Are we to call it a dream and remain unmoved by his suffering? Answer. From the point of view of knowledge, gnana or jnana, or reality, the suffering you speak of is certainly a dream, as it is the world of which that suffering is an infinitesimal part. In a dream you have when you are asleep, you yourself feel hunger and see others also suffering from hunger. You feed yourself and, moved by pity, feed the others who are hungry. So long as the dream lasted, all the suffering was quite as real as the suffering you see in the world is to you now. It was only when you woke up that you discovered it to be unreal. So again, although there, of course, you can't deny that there is suffering in the world and people are in really bad situations, but the same applies to when you dream at night. Sometimes you're in really horrible situations and then you wake up and then you realize, wow, thanks God, it was only a dream. So this is one very big collective dream. And also Maharishi says that it's not like the dream that you have at night, it doesn't end unless you escape from it. How amazing. That's what he said. So to escape from it, again, instead of focusing on saving the world, try to save yourself. Focus on mindfulness, not thinking. Not thinking is heaven. When you silence the illogical, crazy, fear-based reptilian mind and you just stay in yourself, focused within, this is absolute heaven. And the more you do it, the more you detach from the world until you are awakened fully, or in other words, enlightened. I have no pleasure in my family. There remains nothing for me to do there. I have done what had to be done, and now there are grandsons and granddaughters in the house. Should I remain there, or should I leave it and go away? Answer: you should stay just where you are now. But where are you now? Are you in the house, or is the house in you? He's such a master. I love these answers so much. So Ramana Maharishi never told to escape duties, and even if the duties are finished, he didn't say to go to the jungle to meditate, but he said to remain where you are, because even if you are in jungle, you are taking the mind with you, and if the mind is not trained, it will find even more annoyances in the jungle, in solitude, than where you to stay where you are accustomed to be, because the mind, you're always taking it with you. So then it was sometimes some people would say, but Ramana Maharishi, you actually left your home and you went to meditate alone on the mountain. And he said this was my destiny. He couldn't stop it. So if people go to him to ask whether they should leave the place where they are, it's not their destiny, because they are asking, it's just a mental thing, they are wondering what to do. If it would be in your destiny, you would not think, you would just do it. And then he says, are you really in the house, or is the house in you? So everything is in us. We are just observing this movie. So it doesn't really matter where we take the bodies, because it's illusion whether we meditate in the mountain, on the mountain, or we stay in a busy city. Is there any house apart from you? If you become established in your own place, you will find that all things have merged into you, and such questions will become unnecessary. So like in the dream, when we are in some bad dream and then we wake up, we feel so relieved that we were going to all those terrible places. We were so tired, and then we wake up and actually we realize we were comfortably sleeping in our own beds. So Maharishi says it's the same with awakening. You think you are the person doing these things on a quest to awaken or struggling for your existence, and then when you wake up into your true nature, you realize that you are already everything, and you are at rest, you are at peace, you are totally safe, and you're pure love. And this was just imagination, that you're the person going there, doing this, struggling for survival. Then it seems I am to remain at home. Answer: you are to remain in your true state. So again, Maharishi always directed people from these particular things about bodies to being still, to being mindful. So it's probably in every single page of his words. He always tries to direct people away from the particulars of the world into your inner stillness. Is it possible to enjoy samadhi while busy with worldly work? Answer: it is the feeling I work that is the hindrance. Ask yourself, who works? Remember who you are. Then the work will not bind you. It will go on automatically. Make no effort either to work or to renounce. Your effort is the bondage. The effort is the bondage. As I said, the story is already written, so everything happens automatically. We don't need to put effort, we don't need to worry, because what is supposed to happen will happen. So just allow the body to do what it's supposed to do and focus on inner stillness. That is our most important job in this world. What is destined to happen will happen. If you are destined to work, you will not be able to avoid it. You will be forced to engage in it. So leave it to the higher power. It's not really your choice whether you renounce or retain. And he said, and Ramana Maharishi would say that anyone can get enlightened. You don't need to leave your family and be alone, sannyasi somewhere in India to become enlightened. You can become enlightened where you are. Like Nisargadatta Maharaj, she was an owner of a tobacco shop, and he had a wife. And he awakened, and he still, after awakening, did the same things as he did before, but he was awakened. So it's false understanding that you can get awakened only if you renounce the world and you go on your quest, traveling the world by foot. You can remain where you are, and it's actually better for the mind because it already is familiar with the surroundings and with what it needs to do, rather than changing the surroundings in order to search for the truth. But then there will be so many adjustments need to be made, and it just takes, and that's not necessary. You can just stay where you are. The story is written, the body will do what it's supposed to do, and that is completely fine. You're at peace with that, and you mind your own business, and you allow the body to do what it's supposed to do. So I think I will end the video here. I have many things to do. I'm very busy now with astrology assessments, but I really wanted to do this video on mindfulness. I hope you really enjoyed it. And some things about my personal life. I'm going to move after around 10 days. Yes, after around 10 days, I'm going to move to my land. I'm very excited. It's so beautiful now in my country, Lithuania. When I walk in the old town, it's so sunny, and although it's still cold, the sun makes all the difference. Even now it's so beautiful and sunny, so I enjoy long walks with my dog, and my plants are growing really well. My tomatoes started dying, and then I registered with one gardening forum and asked for advice why they are dying. And then I realized I planted them in rich compost, and I over fertilized them. So I now put them in normal soil, and I will see if they recover. I hope they will not die because they're already quite big, 3 of them. One is much bigger than others, and so I hope it will not die. So yeah, that's I guess all that I wanted to update you about. I hope you enjoyed this video on mindfulness. When I even talk about mindfulness, I'm so happy because really this is the only thing that can truly make you happy. If people are lost in the ego, they will think that things or relationships or achievements of the worldly achievements will make them happy. But then once the ego has that, after some time it's still dissatisfied and wants something else, and this continues throughout not only this life, throughout births. That's why in Hinduism and in Buddhism, it is so important to get off the wheel of karma, where you're born, you run after the things of the world, and you die, and then you again repeat this horrible cycle. So they did not consider multiple lifetimes as a happy thing. They considered it as a curse. So when I started practicing mindfulness, I realized that is true happiness and true freedom. And the more I'm focusing on the self, and even now, even though my life is very busy outwardly, I always try to stay centered within, and I don't experience stress as a result. This is so amazing. As it was told by the enlightened people, the body will do what it's supposed to do, so just leave it. Don't worry about it. Don't allow the mind to talk you into thinking that you are too busy, that you will not be able to accomplish some things on time. Just switch off the mind and let the body do its work, and then you will also avoid stress. So again, that's all I wanted to share with you in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care.